Welcome back to Art Class with Miss Kris. This week we're going to focus on a lion's head. This is not going to be any lion. This is going to be a Cubist lion. So when you think of the word cubism or cubist, I want you to think of broken up shapes. Picasso was famous for this, and we've done some of this in this course. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on just the head. We're going to draw this lion's head, and we're going to break it up into pieces, and we're going to shade. So let's get to what you need. You're definitely going to need a good drawing pencil. I'm using a 6B because I want to get really, really dark. If you don't have a 6B, then you're going to use what you have. You will need a ruler for breaking up the shapes. You're going to need a pencil sharpener because I go through a lot of pencil in this project, and an eraser. This project, I'm going to give you the choice. I'm going to get a little crazy with it, and my lion is actually going to be a super cool lion, and he's going to be wearing sunglasses, and I'm going to do that at the end. So we're going to have a little fun. This is definitely a difficult project, so get ready, get centered, and let's begin with our Cubist modern lion piece of art. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I always start somewhere on my piece, and every artist starts differently. Some people draw like a general outline and then work themselves in. My style is to just start somewhere and then build around that. So when I made this piece, I started with the lion's nose, and then I worked all around to the face and the mane. So let's start with the lion's nose. So about right here on your piece, which is a little bit lower than middle, and you don't want to make this nose too big because you're not going to have room for the mane and everything. So we're going to do it a little smaller so we have enough room for the whole head. So right about here, I'm going to make a line that dips a little bit and goes across, like so. From here, I'm going to make the lion's nostrils. So I'm going to come down on each side. Lion's nose is similar to a cat's nose. They're all part of the same family. I'm going to come through here. I'm going to dip across and dip across, leaving some area in between. Now we're going to do the bottom of the nose. We're going to come down and come down to a sharp point. I'm going really dark with this because I really want to get the darkness and contrast to our shapes later. The sides of the nose, I'm going to come here on the side. I'm just going to come and make a dark area that looks like that. I'm going to go on the other side of the nose. I'm going to make a dark area that looks like that. Now we're going to go down to the mouth. From the bottom of the nose, I'm going to come down and I'm going to make a line straight down. This line is going to move to the right and to the left, making the lion's mouth. The mouth is going to go past the nose, about right there. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do the same thing, about to right there. Now, if you want a smiling lion, you can make those lines go up a little more. I want mine to be kind of on the serious side. Alrighty, so under this line, these lines, is going to be the chin of my lion. And actually, when I looked at pictures of lions' faces, they have a lot of fur down here. So I'm going to make it like kind of really get into that whole jaggedy kind of look. Like a jagged, furry chin. Okay. And on the edges of everything, See, I'm gonna go really, really dark with my pencil on the edges of everything. Kind of like a strong outline for all of the cubism that we're gonna do later. So I'm gonna go up here on the top. I'm also gonna be very dark with it. Alrighty, now let's go into the cheeks. We're gonna work and then work ourselves up into the head of the lion. So I'm gonna come right here on the outside of the smile or a grin. And I'm gonna come around like so. A little bit where the nose is, I'm gonna stop, okay? Do the same on the other side, about right here, and I'm gonna stop. That's where we're gonna put our whiskers later. I am gonna give this lion cheekbones. I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna move out. It's gonna be the cheeks. And then I'm gonna work the other side the same way I did that side. That's gonna help me create symmetry. What I do on one side, I try to mimic it on the other side so things look even. Not perfect, just even. So I'm gonna work myself up into the head shape. I'm gonna come up. I'm gonna come up. Little kind of Adam's apple right there. We're gonna draw the mane next, okay? So we're gonna come right here where that little indention is. We're gonna make a line that comes up and goes one direction. I'm gonna make kind of a furry mane. See that? I'm gonna come up here, come up, and we're gonna have lots of broken up cubist shapes inside that mane. This is not really a realistic piece. This is kind of a more graphic and modern piece of art. I like to take themes in art and then play with them. Like lion, and then play with the theme of like going back into like cubism and combining things. It's fun to play with different kinds of styles in art and bringing them together. It makes for some really unique pieces, original pieces. Alrighty, let's continue on. This area right here, I want to fill this with little kind of dots area. This is where we're going to have our lion's whiskers later. I'm gonna put some little dots. Come over here and do the same. He's got to have a lot of whiskers. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move up the nose and into the eyes. I want you to make the eyes, I'm not gonna put like a lot of detail into them because I'm gonna put sunglasses on my lion. You don't have to put sunglasses on your lion. I'm in that kind of mood today. So I'm gonna come up like so. And then I'm gonna come up on this side of the nose. Kind of curve in. Now right here, a cat eye, okay? It's not like a human eye. Human eye is lower, but see, this is bending more than this. I'm gonna make this more even. I have to catch those things early or later. I'm like, oh, what's wrong with this piece? Why does it look weird? Okay, now the eyes they're very cat-like. So I'm gonna come right here and I'm going to come up. I'm gonna come down. And up. Now a lion's eye has like a very thick, dark outline around it. And it's really, really dark, like lower into it. I'm gonna do that on both sides. Now I'm gonna come up. I've seen a lot of your work, and some I haven't seen your work, but I know a lot of you are really good at eyes. It's fun to make eyes because the eyes depict the soul of somebody. You can really see the way someone feels through their eyes, even animals. Scared, the intensity. Okay, so there, I'm gonna make eyes that kind of look like that. Now I'm going to put a pupil in there and a bubble inside that pupil, which will be the highlight. So a circle, and then a bubble, which will be the highlight. I'm gonna color in that pupil super dark. And then I'm gonna shade in the rest of it kind of light. All right, I don't know why I'm spending so much time on it. I'm gonna change them later, but oh well. All right, so now I have kind of the general outline of the lion. I'm looking over here. It looks a lot wider over here than over here. So I'm gonna modify a little bit. Make this a little wider. I want this to be as even as I can. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna take my ruler and I'm gonna go through this whole thing and I'm gonna break it up into shapes. So I'm just gonna, and I'm gonna go lightly with my pencil now. I don't want the lines to be too, they're kind of like guidelines. So I'm gonna go really lightly and I'm gonna break up. I'm gonna start with my face and I'm gonna break up the face into shapes. Oops, I slipped there. I don't really have a plan right now. I'm just kind of going with the way I feel. Every time you make art, you're in kind of a different place, like a different mood. It depends on how your day is, and different times of the day, you're gonna make different types of art. It's really interesting that way. Like I've already made this piece a little while ago, and now I'm making it again. It looks totally different the way I made it before. Alrighty, I'm gonna go through the chin now, break it up. You don't have to have too little of pieces. I just did something like that, and I'm gonna do the same on the mane. I'm gonna break it up into shapes. Then I'm gonna show you one I've already started, and I'm gonna do some of the shapes in it. And then I'll put some, I'm gonna make them super cool, put some sunglasses on them. As I said, that's up to you. You might not wanna do that. I kind of like the idea of playing with animal and human, like bringing the human elements into the animal for fun. Writers do a lot of that when they write books and make movies. All right, so now you can see I've broken it up into shapes. So I'm gonna show you one that I've been working on already. Okay, put that right on top of it. Okay, cool. So this is one that I am already working on. I have gone through into all the different shapes, and I have made different shades. Okay, so you don't want to have two shapes have the same tone next to each other, because you want to see the shapes. So for instance, I'm going to come right here. Oh, another thing I wanted to tell you is when I go through this, and I think I brought this up already, I make the outline of my lion, like the outline of the face. See how dark it is? See how dark I made that nose? I make those the darkest spots so you can still see them really well. And then I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna do a shape right now. And this is a really good practice in shading and really getting and learning control of your pencil. And you can really see the nice varieties of tones that you can make. Shading is really relaxing, okay? So over here, I'm gonna go a little darker with this piece of my puzzle. It kind of looks, I was thinking about it when I was looking at it, kind of looks like a lion quilt. But I'm calling it Cubist lion. Actually, I'm gonna call this Cubist modern lion. Fancy. All right, I need to sharpen up. Okay, so I'm gonna continue on. I'm gonna do a few more, but I'm not gonna do this all day because I want you guys to get started. But you can see, all right, so I have a really light tone, I have a dark tone. I'm probably gonna make this a middle tone. And when you are shading it in, I want you to work on going one direction. If you want it a little darker, go the opposite direction. You could use a blending stick for this too. I'm kind of really into seeing the lines today and seeing the pencil. I don't want it so smooth. I kind of want it like more rough, so I've decided not to use a blending stick. But you could really, really get into the different tones. So you could see, I just work through the shapes. Some are darker, some are lighter, some are mid-tone, and I create this kind of quilt patchwork of this lion. So now what I want to do, and I'll finish this later. I think you get the idea. Now I want to make this, I don't know, I want something in this to really stand out. I'm just in a silly mood today, and I'm going to put sunglasses on my lion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go across the top here. This is actually kind of scary because you're like, oh, am I going to ruin my piece by doing this? And I say, nah, you're not. Just being a risk taker, okay? That's the outside of the glasses. I'm gonna come down. I have to go really dark with these glasses. Actually, let's go here now. Let's bend. I'm gonna do this on a black Sharpie, and I sure hope I don't mess up, so you can really see what I'm doing. If I mess up, I'll just cry. No. Alrighty, so I'm gonna come down right here, and I'm gonna come around my eyes. I'm gonna go outside of his face, and I'm gonna curve around. All right, I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna try to do the same thing on the other side. Come down, sunglasses. Now, I'm gonna come around the side. Now you can make them black, or you could shade really dark. I think I'm gonna go for that. I'm gonna shade the sunglasses really dark so you could still see the eyes underneath, because I still want you to see the eyes. So I'm just gonna go over this really dark, but not to the point where you don't see the eyes. I kind of think it's cool that you would see the eyes through these sunglasses. This is just going to be like tinted sunglasses. Okay, I don't know what you think about that, but I think it's kind of cool. I like it. Alrighty, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take the time, I'm gonna finish my shapes. You could add a background of color and keep this black and white, and then if you have any background area, you could add color to it, or you could just keep it like this. Sunglasses, optional. I'm going for sunglasses. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next week for more art. Take care.